Okay. This is a reading of Best of Luck. It is at a point where the infirmary people, union infirmary people, have more than 200 men who have crossed the divide between the old ground that the Confederate soldiers held and the place where they were now putting up new tents, taking down the old tents and putting up new tents because all the patients that they had before were gone. At any rate, I'm going to read the last sentence in the first part. You cannot be wrong when following the intelligence written in a book and it is read correctly. That's a point, isn't it? Sam leaned over the table after Demont washed and wiped it clean. Is that the last man going outside to a recovery tent? It is dark outside. He pulled the pocket watch out and flipped the cover open. 2:24. I'm not relaxed. I need to get relaxed. But anyway, hope y'all are all relaxed. Hope you enjoy this. 2:24. What day is this? How long have we been doing this? How long have we been here? Should have been doing this. I ate 14 times, but that does not help my calculations. Sergeant Byers stretched out on one of the tables. I need a pillow, and I will sleep here until I need to make a nature call. 84 hours. I've been dragging, and I don't think I can move. Someone who has slept, bring me a bedpan, please. Are you sure? Have we been operating 3 days and 12 hours? Oh, I hope this works. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. We more than you, but you logged a heap of miles when you weren't operating. I am too tired to be respectful and say, sir. I am too tired to care. I will attempt to make it to my bunk and enjoy the mattress. I will appreciate it if I'm allowed to sleep until I wake of my own volition. Did anyone get a body count? 427. All were alive when they left this facility, and none were amputees. Will you prescribe laudanum for me, sir? Lay your exhausted body on a soft mattress and it will not be needed. Good night, everyone. We only have post-op exams to do tomorrow. Sometimes later. The sentry saluted as he approached the tent. I am too tired, Jensen. Have your relief wake me at sunrise. Yes, sir. Sleep well. I'll be here. Thank you, Jensen. Have someone bring my horse after sunrise, please. Yes, sir. I'll be ready if you need an escort, sir. Excuse me, just 2 shakes. Got 2 functions to accomplish here. That's going to take me a couple of minutes. Have a drink. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Here we're going to change this again. Move this. That's the problem with having a ebook on a laptop computer. Sam dismounted at the front of General Grant's tent. I hear noise coming from the tent. Care to hear great news? Coffee is good this morning. Bring your great news, but no, I already have a report concerning 427 men who are alive due to your deeds. The supplies that were captured were delivered, and the men have been fed, and they are resting. The men you did not see who have slight wounds were fed, and they are resting. I have thousands of ex-military men applying for enlistment. A number of those men did all any man could do to help our efforts. They were acting in place of the 3 doctors who left them 4 months ago. They had no advanced training, but handled each man's needs with care and sympathy. Can you get their names for me? I will. I imagine they are fast asleep. All of my staff stayed the course with me. 80 hours of surgery and 432 badly wounded men. 5 men died on the table. I am not versed on accommodations. Do I write my recommendations for the men? I sent your recommendations for you yesterday. I would make you a full colonel if I could. It would not be allowed since you were just promoted. Can I add a bit of flavor to the coffee? As your friend, cut down on alcohol and cigars. I worry most about the number of cigars. The liquor will damage your liver. The chemicals in the cigars will damage every organ. Whoops, that went the wrong direction. It comes in contact in various manners, and all of them are bad. You may be taking 20 years off your life. I'll stop since it's going in one ear and out the other. I want to make contact with a gunsmith in Lynchburg with your permission. Not today. Check on the men who are with the wounded. See the more severe cases if you're needed, and rest. Even if you don't sleep, let your body rest. You have time to meet the gunsmith. We are in a position to move if it is what we need to do to protect the capital. Jefferson Davis ordered the Confederate generals continue the conflict. Until the generals surrender, we will be here. Corporal Darrell Fulton took the horse when Sam dismounted by his tent. Thank you, Corporal. I will not need him again today. I'll have him cared for, sir. Do you have further instructions for us? Going to bump this little booger one more time, see it goes right. It did. Normal routine. We will be here an unknown length of time, in case you hear something different. The war did not end 4 days ago, and we are in a position to move and defend the capital until it does. Okay. The war did not end 4 days ago. Chink. And we are in a position to move and defend the capital until it does. Send a message to the hospital corpsmen that I am here if someone needs me. Tell them I hope they find the ways to have adequate rest. I will have it done. Thank you, sir. Becoming alert and seeing sunshine come from under the edge of the tent when a gust of wind pushed it, he let his body down with his head on the pillow. I did not sleep as soundly as I imagined I would or as long. I'm about to croak from hunger. Corporal Dennis Albritton stood outside the tent. I can have a meal brought to you, sir. Dinner has never been my favorite meal. Breakfast, sir. Breakfast? What day is this? Thursday, sir. The 13th? Yes, sir. Breakfast will be appreciated. Will you have my horse brought here? 20 minutes for the breakfast and 45 minutes for your horse, sir. Thank you. That will be fine. General Grant ordered 12 armed men to be your escort if you leave this post, sir. Will we be needed, sir? Dink again. It's up there. I get tired. So tired of this. Okay. We will visit a gunsmith in Lynchburg. Sam stopped his horse and looked at the signs hanging in front of the storefronts. Alfred Brenman, Ironworks and Gun Specialty. That shop may be the end of our journey today. Jenkins held his hand out to stop Sam. We should check the shop first, Colonel. With your permission, sir. Try to make people aware of what you intend. We will, sir. Kendrick and Sutton, accompany me left and right. Barton and Mentor, check the workshop. Alfred Brenman stood behind the counter. Nobody here but me. I am a Southern man. Colonel Harkness asked permission to come here. He is a physician. A doctor and a colonel, that's interesting. Invite him in. I have a few words for him. Our search is not complete. When I know he is safe, you can invite him. If anything happens, you will be charged and hung as a traitor. Just take your Colonel Harkness back where you came from. Jenkins brought the rifle barrel up half the distance that would be needed to have it level on Alfred Brennan. I suggest that you treat this day different than any day you have ever had. You are a split second from being shot. I don't want anybody calling me a traitor. Don't be one. I am if I invite him in, and I am if I don't, the way people will see me. It will not favor you if General Grant comes here. General Lee surrendered. Jefferson Davis ordered General Johnson and the other generals to continue. The war did not end, and your declaration of your sympathies for the South, the Union soldiers, is a declaration of intent to do bodily harm if and when it's possible for you. If I go back and tell General Grant what you so proudly said, this town will be blown off the foundations every building sits on. Colonel Harkness spent 82 straight hours operating on 427 wounded Confederate soldiers, and you spat off about being a Southern man. You are either awfully brave or awfully stupid. I feel like gathering about 20 of the able-bodied Confederate soldiers and bring them here to let you tell how much you hate Union men. Instead, I will merely tell you goodbye and have it become known that you turned your back on all of us. I will not threaten you, sir. I will tell not a soul what happened here. That is the worst thing I can do to you. Colonel Harkness coming here is known throughout the ranks on both sides. Kendrick and Sutton outside with me. Does he want me to repair a gun? He did not tell anyone what he expected to gain by meeting you. Good day, sir. Wait, please. The soldiers that are left here number more than 20,000. The wounded are recuperating, and the others are being nourished and cared for by the Union Army. They are all being given aid they may need in every form, right down to footwear. Have you or anyone in this town been to visit them, even offered the comfort of your shop to be out of the elements? They are honest men. Otherwise, everything in this town would have been declared to belong to them. With service revolvers in their hands, Sam followed Peterson and Trowbridge inside the store. Problem? We were leaving, sir. Is the shop closed? It is not. How can I help you? Are you Alfred Brennan? I am. Do you need a gun repaired? I need guns to be modified. I need centerfire shells for them. Tell me how. Sam took paper sheets out of his trouser pockets. Lengthen a 1861 cylinder to hold 45 centerfire shells. Make an injection space on the right side with a spring-loaded gate. I have the 1861s to be modified. Can it be done? And can you do it? The modifications will cost more than a standard 1861 costs. Can you do it and tell me if you will risk my... Can you do it and tell me if I will risk my hand or my life when I fire the gun? No, the guns will be safer than they are now. I will need the help of your men almost every day. We are standing by until all threats are ended. I can start tomorrow morning, can you? We will start tomorrow if I'm able to be here. I filed for a patent on the 3 guns. Only 3 guns? The patents for the 1861 and the 1849 Baby Dragoon and the 1851 Navy. I want 8 of each. 24 is a total, and 1 for each man with me today. Your choice. I can promise they will be easier to load and unload. That's all I can promise. They can be almost what you want. The Baby Dragoon will not be rim-fired. The Baby Dragoon will be rim-fired. It cannot be made to be a centerfire gun. Will it have a 5-inch barrel length? Will you favor 4 with 5-inch barrels and 2 with 4-inch barrels, less bulk, but deadly when you're close. What time tomorrow? Bring a pot of coffee and wake me up. I have not tasted coffee in nearly 3 years. We will be here, but you will use your pot to make coffee. I will be happy to. Bring cash. We will settle on the measurements, and I'll make the trip into Lexington to buy what we will need to modify the guns and rebuild them. Nobody will be able to tell you what one of the guns may be when they see it. I will need most of your men to help. They will be too tired to help the next day. Can you bring another 12 men the next day and 12 more the following day? The first 12 may be rested enough to help the third day. We will do the same work on the 3 guns every day. 2 or 3 weeks should be enough time. Will you have enough money? I have the money you will need. Am I being nosy by asking if you intend to wear a waist belt and holster for each of the guns, or will you need a holster that people will not see if you have the 4-inch gun hidden under your coat? Both. Can you purchase the baby dragoons? I have the 51s and 61s, but more will be needed. I will, and I'll measure them for modifications. I'll have Cletus from the leather shop come by too. He'll want to go to Lexington with me. Hang on with me just a second. I'm going to refresh and continue. Sam and the 20 men tied their horses at the front of the store and went around to the workshop. Alfred Brenman brought 3 packages tied with strong cord, one of each gun cushioned inside wooden boxes and wrapped inside the packages. They will fit in the new saddlebags you had made, so you can carry 4 in one set of saddlebags. You men can go in the store and get the rest of the packages. John Wilkes Booth was shot and killed by Boston Corbett. It took him a long time to finally die. There's lots of mystery about Abe's death. The war is still going on. Booth was not a soldier, but he told Everton Conger to tell his mother that he died for his country. Some say the man was not John Wilkes Booth, but a man who looked like him. Most people would not recognize Booth without his heavy makeup. He was an actor. They all powder up pretty heavy. I wouldn't know him either way. People say things to be noticed. It does not matter. People die and the world goes on turning. It has been turning with and without for millions of years, maybe billions, with the universe full of mysteries. We live with what we have. There is nothing more. How much more do I owe you? $227 gold. Damn Confederate money can't buy a drink of water. The war may not be over, but this ain't the Confederate state of Virginia no more. Sam counted the coins and placed them in the leather bag Alfred held. I will measure the guns and change the dimensions on the patents. You don't need to be worried about them being done like you did them ever again. I don't have the money to even start hiring the men it will take, and sure don't have enough to make the guns ready to be sold. It ain't practical. A man can buy a gun for less money than your guns cost you to be what they are. I can fix a gun, but I don't have a single gun I can sell. Chapter 2. The bugler blew assembly 3 times. Jenkins came to salute Sam. What should we do, sir? You're assigned to the hospital corps. None of you can leave your posts. That is not your routine. Have my horse saddled, please. Yes, sir. Hang on just a second. I'm going to check time on this whole phone up here and see what we got. And we got almost 20 minutes. Okay. YouTube does not allow long videos. I'm not certain what time limit they have, but I don't want to push it and have them cut me off and have to do one over again. It's kind of like writing a book. Once you've written one, I shouldn't say you, well, for me, once I've written it, it's done. I could never write that book again. And I think most authors will tell you the same thing. I am an inspirational author. I don't do anything. I don't do an outline. I don't do any planning. I sit down and take an idea that I've got and write. And it just evolves. And at some time it seems somebody else wrote the piece. But at any rate, it's a talent. And it's developed. It's not just you picked up a piece and blah, 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 blah. Other authors may be that talented, may be that gifted. I'm not. And I write what I like. I'm not seeking a Pulitzer Prize. And so anyway, we'll continue here. I'm going to back up on this chapter 2 bit again. The bugler blew assembly 3 times. Jenkins came to salute Sam. What should we do, sir? You're assigned to the hospital corps. None of you can leave your posts. That is not your routine. Have my horse saddled, please. Yes, sir. He sat on the horse and watched General Grant. He watched as General Grant spoke of how men would leave the area. He did not specify who the men were by naming them or telling which unit had orders waiting for them. He mostly spoke of the territories. All the Confederate soldiers were allowed enlistment. Many of those soldiers were academy graduates. They retained their rank. Got to flip this again. Physicians had options and other specialized men had choices of service locations. Line officers would receive assignments without discussion. Attention was called and he saluted the troops. Sam moved the horse to the east side of General Grant's tent, dismounted and tied the horse. Sergeant Al Waters saluted. Coffee's warming inside the tent, sir. Thank you, I'll wait. He will have my hide if you're standing outside, sir. We certainly do not want that. Will you leave the flap open? I have been ordered not to, sir. I will move away. I'll walk with you, sir. I would welcome you walking with me. Will you continue to serve? I have a farm in Tennessee, but I feel I'll not be welcome there. I have no place to go, and I will gain 2 ranks if I re-up. I can apply to attend classes at the United States Military Academy. Your endorsement will be a great consideration. General Grant will be the key for you. I will sign for you, though I do not see how you need mine. You are the only active doctor in the Union Army who has the designation of Lieutenant Colonel. You could take your pick of administrative posts in the territories and continue increasing your rank due to your age. Your actions during these 4 years are legendary. You can do anything you like. Will you campaign for General Grant when he runs for president? That will be determined by my location and how my being away will affect other lives. He will not be at that crossroads for several years if wisdom prevails. The work he will be able to do to unite the people of America is his alone to accomplish, if he is given permission. I will certainly lend all I can to help in that regard. Reconstruction can be a success. United States will not happen until this nation faces a great catastrophe that brings all people to have a single purpose. That may never happen in time. This great country will have too many factions, to ever be united. And our enemies will prosper in this land. That is the magnitude of the need of all the people in America have for his leadership. Sergeant Waters moved to take General Grant's mount. Colonel Harkness is waiting, sir. Did your conversation bring new light to your understanding? He is a rare individual, sir. He might have been the greatest fighting man in the Union Army. He is a great supporter of yours, sir. I believe I will have need of him one day and of your serving. I hope to have completed my time at West Point, sir. 3 weeks and you will begin that journey if you are ready. I'm eager to start. Take my horse to escort Colonel Harkness when he is finished here. Learn all you are able to absorb from what he will tell you about college life, benefits, and pitfalls. You will compete with young men who were born into privilege. They will have a superior attitude until they learn of your military experience. They cannot compare or compete. Then you will become cognizant of those who were admitted due to the congressional appointment. A percentage of them will leave in disgrace, as many of the privileged will. You are the only person who can keep your placement by consistent attendance of classes and habitual study. Arrange your physical training in a private location earlier than other cadets will be willing to sacrifice. Being prepared is the key. Acclimate your senses to the method your classroom instructors use to apply the lectures. Learn their vernacular, their use of words. Visit them after class if you have a valid question about a point of confusion. You will not have cause to tell them you served me. They will have that information before the first day of class. I will have a place for you after graduation. Colonel Harkness will not be long with me before he will join you. Thank you, sir. Keep in mind that I will know how you are progressing before you know. Yes, sir. I want to be first in my class. I will not be discouraged if that does not happen. Graduating will be my purpose, and I will graduate, sir. He turned to see Sam. Colonel, you should be inside enjoying a drink. I will not be comfortable until the primary occupant is the host, sir. I saw you sitting on your horse while I was speaking. We will disperse. It's all I was able to understand. I still have patience, sir. The trains have not been scheduled due to one problem or another. Our engineers predict the problems will be rectified before the end of the month. The patients will be transported to local hospitals when they are able to be moved. I could use your services on my staff. Opposition exists from every portion of the government and from the private sector. Politics is not one of my strengths. Tactical positioning is: listen to your advisors, study well to understand what the results may be and what will happen due to the results. When you are satisfied that you have all the information that will ever come to you, have a drink to help you sleep and make your decisions before you dress for the following day. Do not falter from the decision. If you fail, let it be from attempting to be right. That will probably never be clear or obvious. Restrict the drink to a single, sir. You espouse the adage of neither fast nor slow, and never half-fast. Spoken swiftly, that is the crunch, sir. Take Sergeant Waters and impart every inkling of knowledge to help him mount an offensive to gain his goals at the academy. You cannot trust him, sir. He does not imbibe. He is probably the same mind as I am, sir. Limit your intake and the cigars. Both will shorten your life. I will leave you with those subjects to contemplate. With all my respect, General. You are a crafty one. You should be. I will correspond, sir. I have the strongest desire to know what you have in your boxes. One contains the type of saddle Western workers use, sir. The others contain arms I believe I will need from here to my home in Texas. Better to have and not need than to need and not have. Give me just a minute, please. I'll be right back. Just standing up here, seeing what the thing's doing and whatever. And we still got a little bit of time, possibly. Okay. He saluted and moved outside the tent. You're with me, Sergeant Waters. Your scholastic instructions have been ordered. I will remain in this area until the trains are known to be reliable. I foresee an arduous journey ahead for both you and me. Returning in my mind to those days before I was practically abducted will be bittersweet. According to your preparation, your days spent at the point will not be so pronounced. Your first goal is never act in a manner receiving official recorded demerit. Focus as though you are the prisoner. Hang on just a second. Focus as though you are a prisoner with your single vision of graduation within your reach to be your daily endeavors. Leave the distractions to those who have no caring about the outcome or the future. You will be older than most and you are experienced. Both will be to your advantage. Your instructors will expect you to excel. Go beyond what your classmates will not attempt. Even a small degree of persistence will place you higher in your marks. Your goal should be to graduate, with or without honors. The shoulder insignias you will earn have no caring about your graduation placement. And now we're going to a different part. Hang on just a second. I'm going to do my little drinking bit again. Talking this way, reading this way, dries me out. That being maybe a matter of my age. Can't really say. I think part of it is the time of the year it is, the problems with pollen and other assailments that we have, or some of us have. At any rate, carry on. Here we go. Sam, dressed in civilian clothes, buckled the belt around his waist, pulled the coat on, and left the tent. It is time for our departure, Jenkins. The ambulance that just left carried the last of our patients to the station. Will you have a wagon brought to have my boxes and bags loaded? I will require help with all the bags when I board the train before the scheduled departure time. It will not leave until all the men are aboard. We are no longer needed here. I am no longer needed anywhere. You will have a pleasant and short ride to West Point. Classes begin in 3 days. I like your boots, sir. The sir will be given a much-needed rest in a few minutes. That is not likely to happen until you leave the train, sir. The train conductor stood beside Sam while he watched his boxes and bags being loaded into the baggage car. Can we go aboard, sir? I have other bags I will keep with me. They are waiting for you at the front of the forward passenger car. You will have the seat to yourself, sir. General Grant made arrangements for your trip to Monroe and on to Texas. Many of the men will assist you until you leave Shreveport. I will bring sandwiches and drinks until we reach Monroe. I will prepare a meal in a box for you to take with you when you leave the train. Were you threatened if you do not do all you relayed to me? No, I was instructed. He was a big man with muscles like you. He was not a nice man. Someone might ignore what you said. I don't know anyone who would ignore something he said. Then he said General Grant wanted it done. He could have told me that to start with. People sometimes need motivation. Having General Grant ask for something is enough for any sane man to be motivated. I was and still am. Can you tell me about General Grant later? When you have time, I will always have time until we reach Monroe. A horse and 2 mules will be waiting for you there, the large man said. I have my duty to see to. I understand. A man followed the conductor through the open door and stopped with his back to Sam. I heard you say General Grant asked you to help Colonel Harkness. You can tell any man on the train that you need help to do what you need to do for him, and everyone will be willing to help you, and tell others who will care if you don't. I intend to do all I'm able. Is he a colonel? In the Union Army. Were you? I was in the Confederate Army. Yet you will help me help him. He saved 427 wounded Confederate soldiers after General Lee surrendered and left us without a word to help us. Damn right I will. We all will. General Grant ordered food to be given to every man that stops along the route. I need men to bring the food aboard, but not for every man to leave the train. I am responsible for every life. We all are. Thank you. We are going home. Did you have a part in his helping the wounded men? All of us did. He did not rest for more than 3 days. He deserves so much more than what we may help with. General Grant will not do anything to you if you don't help him. Don't look for anyone on this train to be so generous. What General Grant is likely to do will be out of respect for Colonel Harkness. What we will do is also out of respect for him because of the men he saved and the gentleman he is. All of us will show that degree of respect. He closed the door when he went back to his seat and nodded his head when he looked at Sam. Colonel? Thank you. Thank you, sir. It's a long way to Shreveport. We don't have money for a room, but we will stay with you that far, sir. Are you going to Texas? Laredo, sir. You know how to gather food from the land safely? None of us will go to our homes near Laredo. We were not wanted by the Union Army. We were told where to go by the Confederate Army. They only needed men who could fire a gun. We were a cannon crew. Was that your title? That's what we called ourselves. A fancy name doesn't mean much when the cannon blows up. I should sit for a while, sir. Did you help or were you a patient? What do you need? Just a rest, sir. Go. He stood up and faced the rear of the car. Does anyone need medical attention? A voice from the rear was barely audible. If this shaking and bumping goes on long, I may need something. Some of us have medical bags. Where is your wound? Where is your... Boy, that's a mistake. I wrote, where is your wounded located? And it should be, where is your wound located? Or wounds. My chest and hip and left leg, sir. You took the bullets out. I'm going to change this. Give me just a second. Okay. Where were your wounds located? Where is your wounds located? I'm going to back that up. Just make it wound. Where is your wound located? Can you recline in the seat? No, sir. I need a man who will be comfortable moving between cars to bring the conductor to me. I can do that, sir. Were you wounded? Yes, sir. Is there a man who was not wounded that can find the conductor? He left the car when nobody spoke. He found the conductor in the third car he entered. Stop the train at the next town that has a hotel. Wounded men need attention. They should not be on this train. Slow the train to prevent... Got to do this movement again. Okay. Injuries to the passengers. It is not understandable how this was done without medical authorization. I'll tell the engineer. Tell him what he faces if he does not do what I ask to be done. I will. Every man in this car with me was a patient, some with severe wounds. Tell him. I will. Sam waited for the train to stop and jumped onto the platform. I have a military emergency. Take my instructions to the telegraph office and send a telegram to General Grant. Tell me what you want sent and I will clear the line to send it. Sam talked through the messaging and told the operator he expected an immediate response. He heard the continued key strikes and listened to the telegrapher. Go to the next station and move the wounded men to 3 hotels. I wrote the names of them for you. General Grant will send a detachment and supplies. Thank you. Always ready to lend a hand to the government, Colonel. He stood on the first step and signaled the engineer to move the engine slowly. The conductor waited and returned to the car. Henry Danders, sir. What are your orders? Go to the next town and take the wounded men to 3 hotels. Men with conveyance methods will assist. Men with conveyance methods will assist. I want an able-bodied man with each of the wounded men. Volunteers. They will be compensated. That would just about clear the passengers off the train. I had not expected the side-to-side movement of the railroad passenger cars. Do many people experience motion sickness? All the time, sir. It was designed that way to give comfort. Do the baggage cars have the same problems? Yes, sir. They ride even rougher. Are your possessions well protected, sir? I can only hope. As rough as this ride has been, how far are we from the next town? 20 miles to Colton. As slow as we are going, about an hour and 45 minutes, sir. I am happy the car is not swaying like it was. I think we may be in Colton a week or more, and I will stay until the men are able to travel. Tell the men in the other cars I will stay to help. I will not know which hotel I will be in until I'm told. They will be able to find me. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, hit the share button, comment if you like. Tell me what you think of things. I'll put 2 links at the bottom of the description on this forwarding, and one will be Smashwords, where this book can be reviewed, bought, whatever, and one will be to my website. All the books are listed on the website. All the books, if you click on them to buy, will take you, I think, anyway, I'd rather you buy them Smashwords. They're on Amazon, some of them, not all of them. Amazon will not let me change anything, so that's a problem. At any rate, hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed writing it. I enjoy reading it. But at any rate, thanks for being with me. Oh.